Hello everyone, can you hear me? I think we lost the connection for a bit. Some people are saying they can hear me, some people are saying they cannot hear me. So I need you to confirm if you can hear me now. Okay? Okay, I'm still getting mixed reactions here. Some people can hear me, some people cannot hear me. So I need to know, can you hear me? Hello? Yes. Okay. Yes. So people can hear me now. Okay, so we're good to go. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Apologies for the sound. We're having a bit of technical issues, but we're back now. Nice to see everyone connecting. My name is Ebumoluwa, and I am going to be your program coordinator slash facilitator on this SD at 40 training program. So I want to see where everyone is joining from. I would be giving special shout outs in the chat. So let me know your name, let me know where you are joining from, and we can get started. Okay, so I'm waiting for your comments, I'm waiting for the chat so that we can move on. Nice to see everyone. I'm happy. I can see the numbers going up. I can see Momo from Kaduna State. Nice to see you. I can also see Jason from Lagos. Pleasure to have you here. I can see Abdullah from Kano and Joyce from Imo State. You're welcome. Pleasure to meet you. So in a couple of minutes, we'll be getting started with the onboarding session proper. Like I said, it's going to be an interesting time. I can see Mohammed. Yes, just keep dropping your names in the comments. I will be giving you shout outs even as we go ahead. Nice to meet you, Lola. Nice to meet you, Victoria. Nice to meet you, Ayodeji from Osun State. Pleasure to have everyone here. I can see people from Benin City, Cross River, Port Harcourt, and so on and so forth. We're so happy that the long awaited training session is getting started, and it's really going to be an interesting time. So you do not want to miss this. So in a couple of minutes, we'll just give a few minutes for people to join, people to stay connected, people to log in, and then we can properly begin the session. But even while we're waiting, it's no harm to connect with people in the comments. If you see someone that you may know, maybe somebody in your state or in a neighboring state, please say hi and be as respectful and welcoming as possible. Okay, we are sort of going to be a very interesting and busy day, and we want to get started as quickly as possible. So like I said, my name is Ebonlua, and I am going to be the program coordinator and facilitator for the SD at 40 training program. And one of the things that I want you to prepare your mind for is it's just going to be an interesting time over the next couple of weeks and months. We are going to be connecting, learning, growing, and developing ourselves even as we go along this program. So to get started, I welcome you. I welcome you from the different states that you're joining. And we're going to be discussing, right? We're talking about the program guide. We're going to be talking about the program requirements. We're going to be talking about things that you need to know, and we'll be addressing frequently asked questions. So the purpose of this onboarding session is basically to provide you with the foundation knowledge that you need to kickstart. This initiative is a partnership with Mr. Shea Tinubu, and the training session is going to be delivered by School Technologies. And School Technologies, just for a bit of context, it's an IT technology digital transformation company. So we do have a track record of teaching, training, and even deploying learning management solutions to is basically technology skills. So when the calls went out, a lot of people showed interest and were very, 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 very blown away, to say the least, by the number of responses that we got. So it just shows to or it proves to a point that there are a lot of people that are interested in gaining in demand skills in Nigeria. And we are so excited to partner with Mr. Sheitun on this innovative and exciting initiative because we have a track record of actually delivering these solutions, and we are very, very pleased to partner with you on this journey. So let's get started. That's just by way of introduction. Let's get started, okay? And in typical fashion, I like to get started with a quote. So the reason for this is just to give you some sort of insight and encourage you um, or prepare you for the journey ahead, right? And this quote is by Alvin Toffler, and it says, "The future belongs to those who are willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn." So learning is a constant journey, and it's something that basically never ends in life. So if you know that you want to be a huge partaker of what the future has to hold, especially in this era of digital transformation and innovation, then you must be willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that is basically the backbone of this initiative, right? We're going to be providing you with knowledge, hands-on experience on in-demand tech skills, and even much more than the tech skills. You're going to be learning about soft skills, you're going to be learning about communication, emotional intelligence, and time management. So there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot to unpack from this training, right? It's going to be interesting, it's going to be innovative, and it's definitely going to be worth your while. So we'll move along. So for a bit of context, right, why did we decide to um, start this initiative, and what was the idea behind partnering, right? Basically, the reason for this initiative fundamentally is to equip young Nigerians with job-ready digital skills, and not just having the skills. The idea of this is to improve employability and economic opportunities. Okay. And we're doing this so that we are able to meet the rising demand for digital talent in fields like you're going to be learning as part of our tracks. So we're going to be seeing data analysis, we're going to be seeing product management, and we're going to be seeing cloud engineering. So that is what we are going to be taking through the tracks. Okay, I've switched my network. I switched my network now, so I believe it should be a bit better. Okay, so people are advised say like log out and log in, and then you should be able to hear me. So please, let's try to do that. Let's log out and log in, and we should be able to hear me. So please, let's take that note. If you cannot hear me, log out and log in, then you should be able to hear me loud and clear. All right. Okay, so I can confirm that people can hear me clearly now. So, as I was saying, the purpose of this initiative is to be able to equip young Nigerians with job ready digital skills that in turn improve employability. So, that is why we are doing what we're doing. And because we also understand that there is a rising demand for digital talent in fields like data analysis, product management, and cloud engineering, there's also a need to bridge that gap, right? And that is why this initiative has been set up. The next reason why we've set up this initiative is to provide accessible and high quality training, regardless of location, background, or financial capacity. So we do understand that there is a need for people to acquire these digital skills, but there's also that financial gap, right? So that's why this training, as in partnership with Shea Tinubu, is free, and it's also available to people across the different states in Nigeria. So in the chat, you can hear that people are from Bayelsa. You can hear that people are from Gombe. There are people from Imo State. There are different people across the different states in Nigeria. So that is why we are also establishing this initiative. We plan to reach as many people as possible and to be able to provide them with these high in demand skills at no cost. So in terms of an overview of the program, these are key things that I would like you to know. So first off, there are going to be different learning tracks, and we're going to get into that pretty soon. But regardless of the learning track, the program duration is estimated to be about 3 months per course. And what this means is that you're going to have a defined timetable and schedule where you would have to go through different topics that are in demand in that particular track. You'd be given assessments, you'd be given quizzes, and then you'd also be given group projects as it relates to your course. And all of this time frame is going to be for the duration of 3 months. So between 3 to 4 months, we have mapped out a training schedule that should be able to take you through fundamentals of the different learning tracks that we will be taking as we go on. So that's very important for you to know. And in terms of the course delivery, so this initiative and this program is going to be 100% online and virtually. So this means that regardless of your location, as long as you have a stable internet connection, you're able to take your classes, attend live classes, submit your assignments and your assessments, and make the most of the program. So distance and location is not a barrier because we have set up a very stable and secure online platform for these courses to be delivered. In terms of the class schedule, so a lot of people have been asking, how frequently do we have the classes? What can I prepare for in terms of setting aside time? Because we do understand that some people are still students, some people are currently employed, and some people have other engagements that they will need to meet to. So we've tried to accommodate for this by beginning classes from 6 p.m. So between 6 to 9 p.m., you should be expected to take your classes, and they run for about an hour, 30 minutes. So that means that in terms of your live classes, if you have any questions, if you need any clarification from your facilitator or instructor, all of that will be covered between the 1 hour 30 minutes mark. And then you can ask questions, you can interact with your colleagues, you can speak with your facilitator, and you can get clarity on the program. And the plan for course delivery is 3 times a week. And we've chosen Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for each of the classes. I'm seeing a question here in the chat asking if there would be a replay. Not to worry, the recording would be made available, and then you should be able to just catch up with the program even after a course has been delivered. So if you miss the live classes as a result of your schedule and not being available, there are accommodations for a replay. However, it's important to note that attendance would be captured in the classes. So as much as we've made provision for replay, it's also important for you to make out time to attend these classes so that you can build collaboration with colleagues, ask facilitators questions in real time, and be able to keep up with the program. So that is the plan for course delivery. So there will be recorded sessions available. However, there is an attendance mark, and you need to meet up with the predefined attendance criteria for your course to be able to get a certificate of participation at the end of your program. So now the next thing that we're discussing is how would the course be delivered? So there's a platform. Like I mentioned, we have a learning management platform that is available, and you'll be onboarded into that platform. So right after this onboarding session and we get into the new week, you should expect, since classes are beginning from Tuesday. So this is important to note, like I mentioned, classes start from next week, Tuesday, which is the 18th of November. So prior to your class starting, you would have received an email notifying you of being onboarded into the program and into the learning management system. So on the learning management system, you will get details like your course curriculum, course content, and the schedule that you would have. You would also be seeing links for you to join classes and links for you to submit assignments as at when due, right? So all of that will be done in the learning management system. And we would also be sharing with you a quick walkthrough of the learning management platform, right? So you can get familiar with how to upload assignments, how to reach out to your facilitator, how to go through a course, and where to access the necessary links. All of that information will be provided with you as a starter pack and be shared on the Telegram groups, which I believe everybody has been adjusted to. So just keep a lookout on Telegram. Ensure that you've turned on notifications because you'll be having different messages and different updates from the admins being dropped on that. So, like we know, I'm sure during the registration, you have the option to decide what track you would be going for, right? So, there are three exciting tracks that will be delivered for the purpose of this initiative. There's a cloud engineering track, there's data analysis, and there's product management. So, these three tracks are going to be taught by industry experts, right? So, you're not just going to be learning about the theory and the fundamentals, you're also going to be having hands-on practice and experience, and you'll be having case studies and projects to be able to test your knowledge. So regardless of the track that you've signed up on, be rest assured that you're going to get all the support as required, and the information that you're going to get from this training is second to none. So it's something that you should definitely be excited for. In terms of what is needed for the program, right? Like I've said, stable internet connection because we have the courses that are going to be delivered 100% virtually. So all the courses, all the assessments, and everything that will be taken within the program is going to be virtual, 100% virtual. So what that means is that you need to be connected at every point in time so that you are not going to miss out on the classes, and so that you also have access to the learning management platform and be able to download class recordings. Another thing that you need is a functional device. So one of the frequently asked questions that we got was, oh, would a device be provided? Or I currently do not have a laptop. I currently do not have a smartphone. We had already initially indicated that no device would be provided for the course of the program, but you can take the courses and have access to the LMS through either a smartphone, a laptop, or a tablet. So you don't necessarily need to have only a laptop. You can have access to the platform as long as you have a functional device. So it could be a smartphone, a desktop, a laptop, or even a tablet. Now, in completion of the program, you need to be committed to taking the courses and also submitting assessments. Like we said, for you to be able to get a certificate of participation, which is expected to be issued at the end of the program, you need to have gone through the classes and you need to have submitted all the required assessments. So there needs to be that commitment that, as I start this, it's not going to be one of the courses that I, drop off halfway. You need to be ready to see it through and also to be able to make the most of this opportunity because you have actually, earned your spot in this platform or in this initiative. So it's best that you make the most of it. So the next thing as a requirement is registration on our LMS. And like I said, all of this will be done for you before your first class. So at the latest, by Monday, you should have already seen your email with login credentials for you to access the LMS, where the courses and the assessments would have already been uploaded for you to begin your learning journey, right? So those are the basic requirements of the program. In terms of the benefits of the program, right? So we've talked about what the program has to hold, what are the requirements. Now let's talk a bit about the benefits. You get access to high demand digital skills. So when we're talking cloud engineering, product management, and data analysis, these are one of the most sought after skills, especially in the tech industry. So this serves as a launch pad, right? So this is a foundational and fundamental introduction to these courses, preparing you for the world of work. By all means, if you are interested in furthering, your studies and getting additional qualifications and certifications, we also have that as an add-on service. And if you have any requirements or if you have any questions as it relates to the requirements for that, you can feel free to reach out to any one of us on the Telegram groups or send an email to engage@schooltech.com, which will be displayed on the screen later on. You also get hands-on experience because they're going to be live classes, going to be practical projects, and they're going to be assignments and assessments that are based on real world and in-demand skills. So not to worry, there are a lot of benefits just by going through the program and seeing it through successfully. Another additional service that we have or additional benefit that we have is this is an initiative that also has career readiness support alongside it. So for top performing students and people that just need that extra um, experience, we're going to actually be offering CV reviews, LinkedIn optimization, and interview coaching. But this is solely for students and candidates that prove to be consistent to the program and maintain a high score in terms of assessment and also attendance rates. So this is actually something that we do plan to provide as a way of supporting you to basically transition from learning to employability. So there's a lot that you can gain from the program just by sticking through. So it's also important to talk about the code of conduct, right? We do understand that this is a platform and there has to be rules like any other platform. The first thing is to have respect for instructors and peers. So in communication, in chats, it is very important that you speak with respect. And it's also noteworthy that any vile comments or any negative comments that are derogatory will be deleted and action will be taken accordingly. So in all your communication with your peers and your instructors, ensure to lead with respect. We also expect active participation from each of the candidates, and we do expect that deadlines are being met as quickly as possible. Then in communication, while we are speaking about respect, we also want to emphasize that communication should be as professional as possible, just ensuring that we are speaking to one another respectfully and ensuring that we are not making derogatory comments, as I mentioned earlier. It's also very useful to have a collaborative mindset. So that's one of the things that we like to emphasize while you're working with the while you're working with your facilitators and while you're working alongside your peers, have that mindset of collaboration and also working together as a group. So there are frequently asked questions. I've identified a couple of them and I would just be taking some of them that we've noted here. So first of all, I can see a lot of the comments at the moment that are there any training allowances, data or devices provided? And like I said earlier, there are no allowances or devices provided for this training. There's actually the value that you get from this is in the digital skills training that you're going to be receiving, which in turn will translate you and position you in a more better position for the world of work. Who can you reach out to if you need any assistance whatsoever? So on the Telegram groups, we have dedicated admins that are the ones posting messages, and also you can reach out to your facilitator. So whenever you see a message, there's actually an admin tag that either appears as school tech admin or facilitator. So those are the people that you can reach out to when you have issues that you need clarification on, or just when you want to get answers to some of your questions. And another thing to note is our email is always open, so please feel free to reach out to us at engage@schooltech.com if you have any challenges or any issues. Now, I have some questions here about if you miss a session due to urgent reasons, what happens? So there are recorded sessions so that you can catch up as quickly as possible. But like I've mentioned, there's actually an attendance criteria. So this means that you need to meet up to at least 70% of classes so that you'll be eligible for participation, your certificate of participation at the end of the program. So when there are external groups links posted, if the link is not posted by a facilitator or an admin, please note that you are not expected to join. Do not join any group. Do not join any platform that was not posted by an admin, that's a school tech admin or a facilitator. Please, to ensure our safety and privacy, let's ensure that we stay safe and that we are mindful of the groups that we join. Another frequently asked question, which I've addressed earlier, is will there be a certificate? Yes, we are issuing certificates of participation at the end of the program, and that is for people that successfully see the program through in terms of assessments and in terms of attendance and participation. So these are the frequently asked questions, and these are answers to the question. If you do have any further questions that have not been addressed, please feel free to reach out to our email engage@schooltech.com, and you will get answers as quickly as possible. So at this point in time, we've come to the end of the onboarding session. We try to make it as quick and as engaging as possible, because at this point you have the fundamental or foundational information that you need for the training, and what you need to do is to get ready, get set, and begin your learning journey. So like I said, further communication on your schedule, other information that you need to know in terms of your links, all this will be shared via the Telegram groups that we have active, and you also be receiving communication via email. So please ensure to check your emails, ensure to check the Telegram groups for a recap of this session and for further information on the class schedule. So do not worry if you couldn't join immediately, and do not worry if you had issues with your network or with connection. Just be rest assured that all this information will be provided to you as a recap, and then you will be able to get answers to your questions. So I will look through the chat now and see if there are further questions that have not been addressed in the training, and I'll see the ones that I can answer. Okay, I can see someone asked, does this cover everything about the learning track? So this onboarding session is the fundamentals. You would be getting a more detailed documentation uploaded either on the Telegram group and or the LMS. So we will actually be uploading on both. You will get a documentation of this that you need to know. You will also get a copy of the slides for your reference, right? And you get documentation on the LMS. So that should be able to support. I see someone saying this is a very interesting program. Thank you so much for your participation. I see somebody saying we are ready. I can see your excitement. I can feel your excitement. Someone is asking how many months will it take to complete the program. So I mentioned earlier that the program duration is for about 3 months, and this covers your entire learning track. After which there would also be assessment, and then that would translate into your certificate of participation. So not to worry, there is a predefined schedule that would be shared with you based on your course and based on your selected track. So I've answered that question. Someone says, thanks for your time. Of course, it's our pleasure to be here and to have you on this journey with us. Someone is asking, are we going to have only certificate after the whole thing? Yes, this question is from Falade Olajumoke. Yes, you're going to have your certificate of participation after you have completed your learning track. The next question is there going to be data allowance or stipend? Like we've mentioned, there's no provision for data allowance or stipend, but the value that you'll be getting from this training would empower you to then be able to translate into the world of work and to be able to move forward after that. Would there be an extension if the program cannot be done? So we do have a predefined time for execution of this program, but if for any reason you are able to successfully complete the program and you do have any valid reasons, please feel free to reach out to engage@schooltech.com. But predefined timeline for the completion of the program is actually between 3 to 4 months at max, and that includes all assessments and all courses. Someone says, sorry, please, are we going through the same classes? No, so you are going to go through the class that you have opted in for. Like I said, there are three learning tracks. There's product management, there's data analysis, and there's also cloud engineering. So upon registration, the class that you opted in for is or you'll be enrolled into the LMS. So someone is asking, at this point in time, am I able to change my learning track? Unfortunately, it's a bit too late for that because you have already initially indicated that that is your program of interest in both the first and the second phases of screening. So that which you've opted in for is what you'll be enrolled for the training. Not to worry, if there are any other questions that are not being addressed here, like I said, we would be speaking about them more in depth on our groups. And then if you have any further questions, you can reach out to any of the admins on the platform, as well as sending us an email. So I'll just display the email here so you can see. The email is engage@schooltech.com. So feel free to drop your questions. Is there guarantee for permanent job placement after this? That's a very good question. So one of the benefits of the program, like we've mentioned, is that for top performing candidates or people that successfully go through the program, we do have a talent pool, and that's where we're going to be shortlisting from. So one encouragement that I'll give you now is to take the program as seriously as possible because there are going to be benefits for successful completion of the program, attending completely and turning in all your assignments. And one of these actually include career readiness support. So this includes CV reviews and also LinkedIn optimization. Then from there, we will then prepare you for the possibility of getting a job and settling in. Okay, I'm looking for questions that I've not addressed. Someone says, I love the lecture days. God bless you for that. Yes, we tried as much as we could to accommodate for different people's schedules, and we're glad to see that this is warmly received, considering the timing as well. So this would give you an opportunity to take the classes and not miss out. Someone says this is really interesting. Seriously, we're excited that you're finding this interesting. Okay, someone asked that for the assignments, do I need a laptop or can I submit it via my phone? Yes, you don't need a laptop to get your assignments done. We actually just need a smartphone or a device, a functional device that can carry out the program. But this also depends on your learning track. So there are certain assignments or assessments that may require you to use a laptop, but that would also be specified as you go along your training. Okay, I think I've gone through the questions that I can see on my list. Someone is asking, can I get a recap? Yes, yes, you'll definitely be getting a recap of this session and you'll be able to go through. We'll also be providing support via our Telegram platform, like I mentioned, and then we would also be providing support via social media and through your emails. So not to worry about that. Okay, some questions are coming in. Does the course, regardless of track, cover fundamentals, or is it enough to make participants job ready? So the program itself is going to be a fundamental program, but these skills are also transferable to the job market. So as much as we've tagged this as a fundamental or a launch pad program, it doesn't mean that your key takeaways will not prepare you for the world of work. So not to worry about that. This is something that would prepare you to some degree or give you an insight as to what is required for pursuing these careers in the long run. Will videos be provided? Yes, there will be recordings of the class. Someone is asking, can you please recap the learning days? Okay, so like I mentioned, classes are going to be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays between the hours of 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. But we believe that you're going to be able to stay connected and also ensure that you do not miss out on the program, right? Each class should not last or the expected duration of each class is about an hour 30 minutes, and that also depends on the questions and the level of engagement that each class holds. So it really does depend on the track. Is this general onboarding or is it only for product management? So this is a general onboarding session, and because of the time I may have to wrap this up quickly. Thank you all for your questions. If there are any further questions, not to worry, I will take all of them as much as I can on the Telegram group. We would also provide you links to ask questions and to raise any issues or supports that you need answers to, and then we would address them as we go on. So it was a pleasure speaking to you today. I hope you are really excited for this program because there's a lot that this initiative has to offer. And I'm excited to be on this journey with you. I'm sure that my team is currently on the call and they are more than excited to answer your questions and also go along this journey with you. So, yeah, that is going to be it for the onboarding session for today. You would definitely still be seeing more of me and my team as we go on. And again, you can always reach out to us on via our email, engage@scotech.com. I do appreciate your time and I'm wishing you a restful and fantastic Saturday ahead. Thank you, everyone.